Spiritual Life Center, transforming lives as we love, serve, and remember who we are.
One heart, one mind,
one soul at a time.
Hello, we are Soul Light Connection. We are the core of the music ministry here at Spiritual Life Center. We're so glad that you've chosen to be with us today. And we want you to know your soul is welcome here.
That's right, you're in the right place at the right time, just where you are meant to be. Let's all sing about it. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. In the right place. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. Oh my soul is welcome here. Oh my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome. My soul is welcome. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. Oh my soul is welcome here. Oh my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome. Oh my soul is welcome. Oh my soul is welcome here. Oh my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm getting the message. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Good morning, and welcome to our Spiritual Life Center experience that we bring to you wherever you might be on the planet today. We're grateful for your presence as we remind one another we are all interconnected. We are all one in the Spirit. As you know, we have folks across the planet who view our services. And I'd like to acknowledge at least one place outside of the United States where the individuals there are tuning into our program. And so today I'd like to acknowledge our friends in Denmark. Thank you for connecting with us, and know that you are blessed and a magnificent blessing to our planet. At this time, I invite us to take a few moments to commune with this presence of pure spirit. And we do so in prayer because we know that is the language of spirit, and an opportunity to realize our oneness with this presence as well as everyone across the planet. So we turn within now. Divine presence, we recognize that we live and move and have our very beingness in you. This presence that we call God or the force is beyond words, but is so very real. It is behind everything that we see, and it is love intelligence itself. So we make this energy the activity of our awareness, so that the words that we think, the words that we speak, and the actions that we take are in alignment with this divine power, so that our life is a reflection of the Spirit of the living God. We're grateful to be the vessels and vehicles of this presence as we go forth doing our work to amplify and expand the all good. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. Well, we know we live in a very friendly universe that is supportive of us. We're grateful for that. And we're grateful for you. As a community, our mission is something that we seek and strive to express every single day. And that mission is we transform lives as we love, serve, and remember. And we do so as we practice these 5 basic unity principles. God is absolute good and everywhere present. People are inherently good. Thoughts create our experiences. And prayer and meditation are how we connect with God. And finally, we must take action.
Good morning. I'm Reverend Deborah Phillips, and here's what's happening at SLC. Discovering Spirit Within this week offers up an introduction to esoteric teachings with What Are Mystery Schools? My guest, Deanna Frank, is a spiritual advisor, teacher, and tarot expert, and the founder of the Sophia Wisdom Mystery School. In this podcast, she offers a short introduction to the origin of mystery schools and how they continue in our modern world. Discovering Spirit Within premieres every Wednesday on your favorite podcast app. And ladies, get ready for a wonderful experience with Karen Drucker. She is offering a virtual women's retreat called Self-Care for Turbulent Times on Saturday, February 6th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pacific time. Don't miss this special time for women to gather together, have fun, support each other, sing songs, and make deep connections. Yes, it can be done all online. All are welcome to this inclusive spiritual women's retreat.
Hi, SLC family. I'm JG, your Board of Trustee and also the chair of the Abundant Community Team. Well, it's bingo time again, and just like the last 2 bingos that we did, the one in October, which was Halloween bingo, Masquerade bingo, and then for the holidays, we did our Jingo Mingo bingo. Well, this time it's Valentine bingo. This is where we come heart to heart with other SLCers and family and friends. This is your opportunity to get on the horn there and invite all your friends to Zoom along with you as we play bingo again. All the details are on our website, slcworld.org. All you have to do is go to the event tab, tap onto there, and you can get your bingo cards from there. Remember, we've got prizes going from $10 all the way up to $50. And our last bingo, we gave out quite a bit of money. So this is your opportunity to not only have fun, but also make a little money in the process. Thanks. See you there.
And then on Sunday, January 31st, from 1 to 2:30 p.m., our Board of Trustees will hold a Zoom meeting where our governing members will nominate and then vote on 2 members to serve as our trustee recruitment committee. Now, if you have not yet renewed your governing membership but attend and contribute regularly, go to our membership page and then say yes by signing up no later than January 28th. The advantage of being a governing member is that you have a real voice. You will be eligible to nominate, be nominated, and to vote. All governing members who sign up by January 28th will receive a list of governing members who renewed for 2021 and a nomination form for 2 governing members to serve on the trustee recruitment committee. New trustees will be elected at the membership meeting in May. You can find more details on our website. And we'd love to greet our newcomers. And while we cannot greet you in person, we want you to know that we are very happy you are with us today as you walk your unique path. You can learn more about us by going to slcworld.org/connect. And when you fill out the online card, you can choose to receive our weekly message, find opportunities for connecting with our prayer chaplains and online small groups. And you can also ask to be notified of greater ways to connect with us virtually as we expand our online community. And speaking of connecting, you can find details for all of the happenings at SLC by simply going to our website, slcworld.org. Thank you for joining us today. We are honored to be with you in the spirit.
What kept me sad was a story in my head about what I never had and what I never said. But I can sing a song the flowers gave to me. It helps me to be strong. It helps me to be free. And when I'm walking with you, I'm walking with God. And when I'm talking to you, I'm talking with God. And when I'm praying with you, I'm praying with God. If God is all there is, then everything is God. And when I'm laughing with you, laughing with God. And when I'm singing with you, I'm singing with God. In the arms of my friend, I'm in the arms of God. If God is all there is, then everything is God. There is a road, a journey we must take that starts from within, but it's just a thought away. You see, I got a song that the flowers gave to me, and it helps me to be strong. It helps me to be free. And when I'm walking with you, I'm walking with God. And when I'm talking with you, I'm talking with God. And when I'm praying with you, I'm praying with God. If God is all there is, then everything is God. Oh, when I'm laughing with God. Oh, and when I'm singing with God. And in the arms of my friend, I'm in the arms of God. If God is all there is, then everything is God. Oh, if God is all there is, then everything is God. If God is all there is, then everything is God.
At Spiritual Life Center, we affirm there is power in the spoken word. If it feels comfortable doing so, I invite you to speak aloud our vision statement. Spiritual Life Center is a loving, vibrant family that welcomes home all people and accepts everyone, no exceptions. Weaving ancient spiritual traditions with emerging wisdom, we cultivate a spiritual deepening with the divine, each other, and our planet.
Hear me in your heart. I am calling you. Listen to your heart. I am here. Hear me in your heart. I am calling you. Listen to your heart. I am here, calling out your name, whispering your name. Hear me in your heart. I am calling you. Listen to your heart. I am here. Hear me in your heart. I am calling you. Listen to your heart. I am here, calling out your name, whispering your name. Hear me in your heart. I am calling you. Listen to your heart. I am here. Hear me in your heart. I am calling you. Listen to your heart. I am here, calling out your name, whispering your name. Hear me in your heart. I am calling you. Listen to your heart. I am here.
As we move into this time of meditation, we settle into the moment, listening for the call of Spirit, whispering our name, breathing into the deep peace of divine presence, becoming present with our inner landscape as Spirit warms our hearts with its song, relaxing into the stillness, connecting with the spirit of love, the higher essence of ourselves. We are one with this infinite presence. As we listen, tuning into our soul's song, tuning into the whisper of God, asking, listening, whose voice am I hearing? Am I hearing the song of Spirit, offering great possibility and filling me with love? Is it the sound of my soul calling out to me, expressing my yearnings? Or am I being influenced from outside with messages of confusion, these myths of untruth pulling me from my center? Aware of where I place my focus, am I seeking messages that inspire and uplift me, bringing hope, wisdom, and clarity? Like this one from Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. Men often hate each other because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other. They do not know each other because they cannot communicate. They cannot communicate because they are separated. From Strive Towards Freedom, 1958. Let's come together in our hearts, one humanity, a brotherhood, a sisterhood of humankind, walking this planet together in the heart of God, each a beautiful expression of spirit. When I am centered in my heart, truth rings clear, easily recognizing and releasing anything that does not feel like peace or love, opening to our highest nature. God's message is our message, one of peace. Hear me in your heart. I am calling you, whispering your name. And your name is so beautiful on my lips. Your essence is so magnificent to behold. Your beauty is brilliant. I want what is best for you, lifting each other in the harmony of Spirit's love. One with the infinite, we are the creators of our destiny, the hope of humanity, the light of love. Stardust, sparkling its brilliance across a twilight sky. As we move into the silence, listen to Spirit calling your name. Connected in the heart of love, one brilliant rainbow of color, emerging in harmony, moving forward in God's light. We raise our vision to the open expanse of humanity, capturing the world and all her beautiful creatures. Our vision clears and hope springs forth. Listen to God's song as peace echoes through your heart. And so it is. Amen.
Hey everyone. I wanted to take the time to tell you that we're recording this song on January 6th. And right now there's a lot of stuff going on at the White House and on the Senate floor, a lot of civil unrest, a lot of opposition and chaos in our country and in our world. And I think it's very appropriate to be singing a song for the service that Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is going to be highlighted. He had a dream. I still have that dream, that we can walk hand in hand and that there is no division. And so I hope that you are touched by this song as I am touched singing it for you today. And I love you very much. I went up the mountain 'cause you asked me to. Up over the clouds, where the sky was so blue, I could see all around me, everywhere. I could see all around me. Everywhere. Sometimes I feel like I ain't been nothing but tired, and I'll be walking on till the day I expire. Sometimes I lay down, nothing more can I do, but then I get up again, because you asked me to. Sometimes I look down, I'm so afraid I will fall, and though the sun shines, I feel nothing at all. That's when I hear your sweet voice come and then go, telling me softly you love me so. That peaceful valley up over the mountain, that peaceful valley, so few come to know. I may never get there, never in this lifetime, but sooner or later I will go. It's there I will go. Sooner or later, it's there I will go.
Thank you, Ann, and thank you, Laree, for that tribute to Martin Luther King Jr. You know, Dr. King would have turned 92 years old this past Friday. And I'm sure he would have had much to say about the state of affairs in America and in the world today. And although he is no longer with us, at least physically, his consciousness remains. Someone said the only thing that we truly leave behind is our consciousness. You know, Dr. King is probably best known for his vision for America. And he expressed that vision in his I Have a Dream speech and the actions that he took while he was on this earth. I would say America, and our world, I believe, for that matter, needs a new dream, needs a new compelling vision for today's times. Because in many respects, the last compelling vision seems to be the one that Dr. King had when he spoke about all people of all persuasions and flavors living together, working together, and being creative together. You know, all dreams start with a God idea, at least all dreams that are worthwhile, that reflect the highest and best of who we are. And that God idea is then translated into our own thoughts and ultimately leads to compelling right action in our world. One of the things I became to understand is that people who live extraordinary lives, people who do extraordinary things like Martin Luther King, are really just ordinary people, but they have extraordinary thought practices. So your thought practice, my thought practice, which is the process in which we think, is the operating system that delivers the kind of life that you and me and all of us ultimately live. And if we really want to live a life more abundantly, as the master teacher says, to live more joyfully, to help fulfill our potential, to have a more fulfilling life, and as well as create a world that works for all, it begins by upgrading our operating system, both individually and as a society. And we do so by raising the level of our thought process. You know, my observation that most people are operating in a herd mentality. They're not conscious of the thoughts that they are thinking. And instead of having thoughts, instead of just observing their thoughts, they become their thoughts. They are their thoughts. And they end up being run by them. Many years ago, earlier in my ministry as a minister, I was facilitating with some other folks a workshop in a meeting room in a hotel in the Bahamas. Wonderful place to be. And as I was sharing my story about forgiveness, I noticed a man sitting in the front row. And he hardly looked at me. His arms were crossed, his face appeared to be scowling at me, and that suggested that he didn't like me. And I was saying to myself at one point, as he abruptly left the seat and left the room, all kinds of thoughts were going through my mind. Thoughts like, oh, I must have said something that offended this man. I was thinking that, I'm not very good at this. It's obvious that he didn't like me. And I wonder how many other people feel the same way. And so those thoughts were running through my mind, and they were affecting my ability to be present. Those thoughts kept popping up in my head. And at the end of the day, the man came up to me and asked me if he could share something with me. And of course, I was preparing for the worst. And I said, well, yes, at least I know what was on his mind. And the gentleman went on to say that what I had talked about was just before he left the room, change his life in a profound and positive way. I was a little startled to hear that. And he said at that moment, he felt compelled to call his father, who had not seen him, or he had not seen him for over 10 years. And he went on to say he had a bitter argument with his father, and he shut him out of his life. And then he went on to say, because of what I had shared, he decided on the spot to call him so he could request forgiveness for the way that he left him. And the man profusely thanked me for giving him some insight and helping him to have the courage to make that call. I say that because I look back on that experience and several others like that I've had. And what I was thinking really had nothing to do with what was going on with that person. I was making stuff up. And those thoughts became me in that moment. And I'm reminded how often we think thoughts that have nothing to do with what's real. And we stop from simply having thoughts, and we end up letting these thoughts run us, control us. So what can we do? I think, first of all, there's value in stopping and periodically observing our thoughts and asking throughout the day, is this a God thought? Or is this just my monkey mind that's running me at the moment? Because many people are so busy, they're so distracted and so overwhelmed that they are buffeted by the never-ending stream of distractions that come their way. They may always have a radio or a TV on. They are watching their texts or their emails and all calls that are coming in. If we're assaulted with stimuli all the time, there's a good chance of being manipulated by them. Sometimes they make us feel happy and calm, but much of the time, they will make us feel anxious. They may make us feel angry or even overwhelmed. And this can cause one to ricochet from one emotion to the next, becoming victims of monkey mind thoughts. And we become victims of those monkey mind thoughts instead of being thinkers of them, observers of them. And these monkey mind thoughts are programmed almost all of the time for lack. They're programmed for limitation. They're programs for beliefs in separation that comes from the media, that comes from organized religion at times. They come from the government. They come from politicians. They even come from friends and families that are well-meaning in our life. So many times we're not thinking, but we're rehashing the mentation. I don't know if that is a word. It's a word now. The mentation of the ego of masquerading as thinking, and it ends up moving through the human consciousness. And this might explain a lot about what happened at the Capitol on January the 6th. You know, many of the actors were misled. They took in information that was they were lied to, they were hoodwinked and taken advantage of by persons and for political purposes. And these people that were taking advantage of them were people of power and influence. And the actors did not step back to objectively observe the rhetoric and think critically in order to discern fact from fiction. Many accepted that rhetoric, hook, line, and sinker. They accepted those beliefs. And those beliefs became those thoughts in their minds. And ultimately, they acted out according to what they had accepted as true. Yet, as I note recently, one of the greatest challenges is to hold accountable people who behave badly, hold accountable people who behave dangerously, hold accountable people who behave illegally, while at the same time have compassion for them. That's because they are running their lives at their current level of conscious awareness. And that's all of us. You know, as the author and poet and thought leader, the late Maya Angelou once said and pointed out that if they knew better, they would do better. And most have no clue of who and what they really are. So to move from monkey mind awareness to God awareness, to God thought consciousness, we must upgrade our thought process. And to upgrade our thought process, we need to counter-program all the negative programming with positive programming so we don't fall into a damaging downward spiral of thinking. And one of the ways we can do that is become aware of the thoughts, recognizing that your thoughts, my thoughts, all of our thoughts are not what we really are. And then we have to develop an honest appraisal, or as they say in the 12-step program, have a fearless and searching inventory of the slant of our thoughts and what our predominant way of thinking may be. We can even break down what the ratio is and ask, are more of my thoughts on the positive side, or are they more on the negative side? What percentage are negative and limiting? What percentage are positive and empowering for us? So we need to discern if we are mostly seeing things in a negative light. Are we seeing things from a light of fear and of fearing the worst and expecting bad things to happen? When we do, we fall into that mindset, and we all do so from time to time. So we may ask, and we should ask, what am I preparing myself for when I go into the world to start my day? Am I thinking about a negative boss? Am I thinking about negative circumstances? Think about it. What are you preparing for is the content of your consciousness and thinking, and is what you will meet eventually. If you're preparing for a rainy day, you'll run into one. If you're preparing for an emergency, you will run into one. If you worry about this and that, then this and that will begin to show up. To do this sounds simple, but it's harder to practice. But we can do it, become aware of the thoughts. But we have to put down the monkey mind thinking. And it starts by being aware of those thoughts and then putting down those thoughts that do not serve us. I recall when I was very young, I was with my mother. And we were walking along the street, going somewhere, I can't quite remember. And I was young and not aware of what it was in the world, to be in the world. And I picked up a piece of candy on the ground and started to eat it. And my mother knocked the candy out of my hand and said, put that down, put that down. You don't know where that candy came from. You don't know whose mouth that may have been in. Well, we probably need to do the same thing with our thoughts. We don't know some of the thoughts that come through our mind, where those thoughts may have come from. We don't know whose mind it may have been in that really was not of a high consciousness, but a low vibration. And we let those thoughts start coming into our own awareness. But every time we put down those negative thoughts, those low vibration thoughts, those monkey mind thoughts, every time we notice a thought like that, we categorize it and we label it in our mind. And each time we notice them, we put them down, these thoughts get weaker and weaker, and they have less pull over us because we're aware. Because now we can make a different choice. Because without awareness, there is no choice. And so we no longer run around when we have choice worrying and saying things like, now, that thought that just went through my head, that negative thought, is it going to manifest in my life? Is it going to happen in my life experiences? Oh, I've been learning about this stuff and how thought is powerful and how thought is creative. And for the past few days, I've been checking out the news and checking out the television and the internet and seeing all this stuff that's been happening and things have been going on. All these fearful thoughts are coming into my mind. Does that mean that something negative is going to happen in my life and in our world and in our country? Oh my God, what's going to happen? I wish I didn't know all this stuff. I've been learning about the power of thought, and because now I'm learning that it's a creative energy, and before I knew about this, I wasn't so worried like I am now. But now I don't know what to do about my thinking. We become aware of what's passing through, but when we put that monkey mind thinking down and we pick up God thoughts, oh, those God thoughts become the predominant way that we are seeing the world. It becomes a subjective feeling tone. And so those negative monkey mind thoughts, they will simply pass through and will not stick because we're keeping them floating on by because we're not interested in them anymore. We're not giving them any energy. We're only interested in the positive, affirming thoughts of the Spirit of the living God. You know, as we look around our world, and we look in our country, and we look at the events that took place on January the 6th, and the violence, the raw hate, the incendiary words used by people in leadership that spurred on an insurrection, politicians who took advantage of people by perpetuating a false narrative for personal political gain. We reframe it to mean that it's all a call from spirit to society for us to bring something new. We reframe it to make us realize there's a call for a new way of thinking. There's a call for a new perspective. There's a call for new energy. There's a call for leadership. There's a call for handling conflict. There's a call for solving issues. We understand that the world is made by God thoughts and the strategic conversations that come from that kind of thinking. In short, our world is remade by first thinking in terms of God ideas. Our life and our world is reformed and transformed by the cutting edge thinking that we are in conversation about on a day-to-day basis. This revelation that our world is reformed and transformed by God thoughts means that the synergistic conversations and the strategic thoughts and conversations that we are remaking the world when we do that. And we can become history makers like Dr. Martin Luther King by realizing that we are not to be consumers of ideas that make up monkey mind thinking, in which we sometimes fall prey to, that comes from the media and the internet and news that ends up causing us to think about things that do not reflect the high possibilities of our spirit. And when we think like that, it sometimes leads us to fall under someone else's agenda. But when we come to the understanding that you and I are here to catch the inspirational thoughts from God so we can move society forward, and we begin to break away from monkey mind thinking, and we think in terms of divine ideas by being bold enough to step in that direction. When we do, individually and collectively, no longer will leaders stand and catch us with fear and division. Instead, we will catch the consciousness of compassion. We will catch the consciousness of oneness. We will catch the consciousness that we are all one, interconnected as spiritual and human beings. And we will catch that if anyone is lifted up, we all are lifted up. And this can only happen as individuals, meaning you and me, begin to grow, develop, and unfold to the greatest yet to be. We have to have those God thoughts. We have to have those thoughts that come straight from the Spirit. Oh, we'll wake up and we'll begin to see that within us, within you, within me, is a tremendous power, a grace, a poise, a dynamic beauty, a dynamic energy waiting to express itself. And we are here to be the vessels. If we will but first think it and then let it be, so that we no longer just rehash the monkey mind thoughts of the world that move through the human experience. Thoughts that lead to the beliefs that lack. Thoughts that lead to limitation. Thoughts that lead to violence that comes from the sense of separation. Thoughts that lead to fear, doubt, and worry. Thoughts of impossibility. We want to have the thoughts of the master teacher Jesus. We want to have the thoughts of Buddha. We want to have the thoughts of Sri Aurobindo. We have the thoughts of Nelson Mandela. We want to have the thoughts of Mother Teresa. We want to have the thoughts of Martin Luther King Jr. We want the highly inspired thoughts that come from the realm of God that deals with love and compassion and giving and healing and spiritual transformation. And for that to happen, we must have an upgrade in our thinking. You know, just like if you have a computer, sometimes on your screen, a message will pop up that says, your upgrade is ready. So we must ask ourselves each and every day, Am I ready to accept my upgrade? You know, we see that message from time to time when it pops up on the screen, and oftentimes it's inconvenient. There's a new upgrade ready for you. Are you ready to receive it? Sometimes we might say, not now. I'm going to stay with my monkey mind. I'm going to stay with the herd mentality. I'm comfortable here. Well, God loves us too much to leave us alone. We're in this progressive, inspired universe, and is sending out God thoughts all of the time for us to take in. So as we prepare our consciousness to upgrade our thinking, we simply affirm, I'm ready to go deeper. I'm ready to expand my awareness. I'm ready to upgrade my thinking right here and right now. I'm ready to let go of thoughts that stifle my well-being. Yes, it might be a little inconvenient. Yes, I might have to change some of my habits. Yes, I might have to release some points of view. We have to upgrade our thinking from monkey mind to God thoughts. And when we do, we transform and we begin to live out that God-inspired vision that Martin Luther King expressed in his life for our country and for our world. And so it is, and so we let it be. Peace and blessings to you. Thank you for being part of our service today, in which we were reminded that we have the choice to upgrade our thinking from monkey mind thoughts to God thoughts, and realizing we have thoughts, but we don't have to become them. Next Sunday, my talk is Transformation with Denials and Affirmations, in which we build on the spiritual basics as we continue our journey into this new year. Also, I invite you to join myself, friends of Spiritual Life Center, as well as a number of our members of Spiritual Life Center at our virtual courtyard on Zoom at 10:15 Pacific Standard Time. I'm looking forward to seeing you there, so let's chat a little bit. Now is your opportunity to help Spiritual Life Center continue to provide these spiritual experiences, not only for you, but for anyone else that joins in with us on Sundays. But also, we're not limited to our Sunday experience, but we also have our weekly podcast. We have our prayer and meditation classes, as well as other transformational experiences that take place throughout the week. So I invite you to support Spiritual Life Center with your donation or your gift, and to give what you can. It makes a difference and is highly appreciated. As always, you can give by texting SLC Love to 44321. That's SLC Love to 44321. Or go to our website, slcworld.org. Go to the Donate tab and give in other ways, including by mail. And now I invite you to join in as we say our offertory blessing, and you can do so out loud or within your own mind. Let us do that together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God.
Living in the house of the soul's belonging, where you know without a doubt that you made it home. Living in the house
conviction, no contradiction, and no control. But you can take possession, claim your passion. Working on a building that cannot be bought or sold. Living in the house of the soul's belonging, where you know without a doubt that you made it home. Living in the house of the soul's belonging, coming back to the holy ground that you've always known. Step into the feeling of sweet surrender. Let yourself remember for who you are. You can take your own sweet time, baby, and ease your troubled mind in the secret sanctuary of your heart. Living in the house of the soul's belonging, where you know without a doubt that you made it home. Living in the house of the soul's belonging, yeah. Coming back to the holy ground that you've always known. There is room for all the kindness you can hold, and you know you can take it with you everywhere you go. Living in the house of the soul's belonging, where you know without a doubt that you made it home. Living in the house of the soul's belonging, coming back to the holy ground that you've always known. Coming back to the holy ground that you've always known. Coming back to the holy ground that you've always known.
And now, let us join together and say our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, I am, and all is well.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there
One heart,